Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. My stepdaughter wants her real dad to give her away. Fine, let your real dad pay for it. My stepdaughter will be getting married on August 3rd. The wedding planning has consumed most of her and her mother's life. Her mother and I have been together for over 10 years, but we are not officially married. My stepdaughter graduated last December from university. I paid for her to go to college. Though it was a state school, it still cost $40,000. She does not have a job and has been living with us for the duration of her college career and since her graduation. I also bought her a car to get back and forth from school. When she finished high school, her deadbeat father would pop in and out of her life. She would fawn all over him, although he has not contributed a cent to her education or paid any child support. This is my girlfriend's fault, as child support was not part of the settlement. She still loves him and wants him in her life. He stays long enough to break her heart by skipping town and breaking promises he made to her. The wedding venue holds a maximum of 250 people. I provided them with a list of 20 people that I wanted invited since I was paying for everything. They assured me that it was no problem and that they'd take care of it. I informed these people that they'd be receiving an invite and should save the date. On Saturday, I saw one of my friends on this list at the golf course and asked if he was coming. He told me he wasn't invited. According to him, he received an announcement but not an invitation. He had it in his backseat and showed it to me. Sure enough, it was just an announcement, and my name was nowhere on it. It only had her dad's name and her mom's name, not mine. This led to a pretty big fight with my girlfriend as I found out that none of the people on my list of 20 made the cut for the final guest list. Apparently 250 people is very tight and they didn't have space for anyone else. I was upset, but there wasn't much I could do since the important people in my life had already been excluded. My girlfriend said if some people didn't RSVP, I might be able to get a couple of people in, but that felt like the ultimate slap in the face. I was boiling on Saturday. Yesterday we had a Sunday dinner with the future in-laws family, us, and a surprise guest, the real dad. During this little dinner, my stepdaughter announced that her real dad was going to be able to make it to her wedding and that now he'd be able to give her away. This was greeted with a lot of applause from everyone. I don't think I've ever felt so angry and disrespected. I was shaking. I took a few seconds to gather my composure because I honestly wasn't sure if I would cry or start throwing punches or both. Once I was sure I'd be able to speak, I got up from my chair and said I'd like to make a toast. I can't remember exactly what I said, but the gist of it was this: I'd like to make a toast. The sound of spoons against glasses rings in my ears. It has been my great pleasure to be a part of this family for the past 10 years. How sweet. At this point in my life, confident smiles were exchanged. They have shown me that my position in this family is not what I once thought it was. A glimmer of confusion and shock began to spread on the faces in the room. Though I once thought of myself as the patriarch or godfather of the family, commanding great respect, and sought out for help in times of need, it seems instead that I hold the position of an ATM good for a stream of money, but not much else, as I have been replaced as host, both on the invitations and in the ceremony. I am resigning my I finished my drink and said, "You all can let yourselves out." Is this selfish? Am I supposed to shell out $40,000 to $50,000 for a wedding that I can't invite anyone to and that I am not a part of? I'm so done with this crap. I'm done with my stepdaughter. I'm done with my girlfriend. I transferred the money out of our joint account last night. She has not had a job since she moved in with me. This morning, I called all the vendors I had written checks to for deposits to refund my money. At present it looks like I'll lose around $1,500 for the venue, but the other vendors have been great about refunding. Update 1. The immediate aftermath was a tantrum, with people sitting there mumbling, not actually saying anything to me, but to each other. After much yelling with my girlfriend about me being selfish, I spent the night in my home office, and no one knocked on my door, not once. Today's aftermath is kind of depressing for me. The girlfriend brought me the bride's wedding planner to show me how much work I was ruining. I thumbed through it and found a page in the music section for father and daughter dances. All of the songs were catered to the real dad's taste. I thought they were just being disrespectful, but now I'm feeling like they never really gave a crap at all, especially since the menu included two ingredients I'm allergic to. That actually made me laugh. Either way, I'm glad to be done. I returned the planner and asked her when she and the bride could move out. Also, I never promised to pay for the wedding. I offered them the use of my home when they were sure it was going to be small, but other than that, all I've heard is how it's the bride's family that should pay. So let it be the bride's family then, Aka, not me. Update 2. Girlfriend and bride have now moved out. They are moving in with the groom. It was very hard not to be petty with some of the belongings they took with them, but it's done and I switched out the locks. Now it's time for a brew. I can't believe how popular this story got, but I feel good to be given support by so many. If I find out what happens with the wedding, I will let you know, but I can't guarantee that I will put in the effort to find out. From what I've heard, they are trying to scale things back and get his parents to help out. The girlfriend burned bridges when I found out she tried to write herself a check on our joint account the day after the unpleasantness. By then I had already moved the money, so I guess I'm a bigger ass than her, but I could feel it coming. Update 3. After the whole wedding fiasco, things really hit the fan. My ex-girlfriend and my stepdaughter moved out. They're now living with the groom, which was, to be honest, a huge relief. I couldn't deal with them being under the same roof after everything that happened. I had to switch out the locks to keep them from coming back, but that's all sorted now. I've been spending a lot of time reflecting on everything. I feel a bit of regret over how things played out, especially considering the amount of money and effort I put into the wedding. I really thought that despite everything, my contribution would be acknowledged and appreciated. But it turns out I was just seen as a walking ATM. The final straw was seeing that the wedding planner was full of details that only catered to the real dad and didn't include any of the plans or acknowledgments for me. On a brighter note, I'm slowly moving on and getting back to my routine. I've been catching up with friends and trying to take better care of myself. I've also been working on getting back the deposits from the wedding vendors. I'm losing about $1,500 for the venue, but most of the other vendors have been understanding and have refunded me. I'm still in a bit of disbelief over how popular this story got, but I really appreciate all the support and understanding from those who reached out. It's been comforting to hear that others can relate and that I'm not completely alone in feeling how I do. As for the wedding itself, I'm not sure what's happening with it now. I heard they're trying to scale things back and get more help from the groom's parents. Honestly, I'm not invested in finding out any more details. I've decided to step away and focus on moving forward. I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for all the support. Update 4. Just wanted to give you a quick update on how things have been going since my last post. It's been a crazy few weeks. So my ex-girlfriend and my stepdaughter have moved out. They're now living with the groom, which actually feels like a relief. I had to change the locks to make sure they don't come back. It's been tough. I've been doing a lot of thinking about everything that happened. It's hard not to feel a bit regretful, especially considering how much money and effort I put into the wedding. I really thought my contribution would be appreciated, but it turns out I was just seen as a source of cash. Seeing how the wedding planner was all about the real dad and didn't include anything for me was the final straw. I'm slowly getting back to my routine and trying to take better care of myself. I've been catching up with friends and working on getting the deposits back from the wedding vendors. I'm losing around $1,500 for the venue, but the other vendors have been pretty understanding and are refunding me. It's been surprising how much attention this story has gotten, but the support from people who can relate has been really comforting. I'm trying to focus on moving forward and not getting caught up in what's happening with the wedding. I've heard they're trying to scale things back and get more help from the groom's parents, but I'm not too invested in the details anymore. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.